next speaker has taken huge strides to empower students across the United States. He has spoken to over 2 million students in 1,500 schools on topics that educate them on the power of words and actions. Through his titles of Program Director for Stand Strong USA and CEO of Golden Rule Multimedia, he has contributed to the largest bullying prevention campaigns in the world and continues to positively impact the anti-bullying industry. California FFA, please help me in welcoming our next keynote speaker with his speech entitled #BeStrong, Mr. Brooks Gibbs.
This is Brooks Gibbs. As a kid, he was a total wimp. When bullies called him names, he would either break out into tears or an asthma attack. Seriously, he was so weak, he would get an asthma attack playing Nintendo.
My mom would come in, "You're playing Mario Kart? You're gonna die!"
Today, he's listed among the top youth speakers in America. He is the author of Love is Greater Than Hate, which was praised by Amazon.com as one of the top 10 books to help teens. As a bully expert, he teaches students, parents, and teachers the fun and easy way to stop being bullied.
So bullying is an opportunity for parents to build resiliency in their children.
You don't hear that.
No,
You're
that's
saying
a really
take that as an
interesting way of
opportunity.
looking at it.
It's totally an opportunity.
I know, it
Wow.
is. It really is a brand new strategy against bullying.
It's actually ancient. Jesus taught it. You know,
I love that.
I'm just bringing it back.
He has hosted national radio and television shows and is currently producing a documentary series on Lifetime called Teen Trouble. Over 1 million people around the world have experienced him speak live. And now, it's your turn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brooks Gibbs.
I'm surrounded by 6,000 student leaders, but I wonder, are they strong leaders? Are they mentally tough? Are they emotionally strong? See, to be a leader, you have to be willing to endure the negativity that's thrown at you. If you're a leader, you're a target. The greatest leaders in the world are emotionally resilient. They don't live for the approval of others. They're happy with who they are and how they are. If someone throws an insult or a word at them, it bounces right off their skin. They don't allow it to penetrate their heart. Strong leaders stop getting upset when people are mean to them. Strong leaders, they know that no matter how people treat them, even if it's negative, they're always going to treat others the way they want to be treated, meaning they're going to be friendly even to their enemies. It was President Abraham Lincoln who said, "Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friend?" See, leadership by definition is to influence other people who follow you, and you influence them always towards positive change. Therefore, the student leader must be a role model. The student leader must be one person that can set an example. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a leader. I thought you had to be tall to be a leader, because tall people sometimes are naturally leaders. And I remember thinking, man, if I was just tall, so sometimes I would try to stretch my body. I was super short, like super short. I was unusually short. I was super skinny too, because I was allergic to everything, everything. And I had asthma really bad. It's true, I would get asthma attacks playing Nintendo. That's how unhealthy I was. And I just wished that I was tall, strong, because if I was physically tall and strong and physically healthy, then I would command other people's respect. I remember thinking, gosh, well, maybe if I was a cop. I was in 3rd grade fantasizing about being a cop, and I asked my teacher, "Hey, can I be a cop?" She says, "No, you're like 3 feet tall." I'm like, "Dude, can I just be a cop?" She says, "Well, we can't make you a cop, but we can make you part of the safety squad." I'm like, "What's that?" She says, "Well, it's pretty cool. We'll give you a bright orange belt around your shoulder. We'll give you a bright silver badge. And we'll give you a stop sign, and we're going to put you in the middle of the street." I'm like, "Isn't that dangerous?" She says, "Just listen. We're going to put you in the middle of the street, and you can stop traffic before and after school. And if you stop traffic, Everyone will obey you, and the students have to obey you too. You'll be their leader. And I said, awesome. So I went out there, I had my stop sign, I had my orange belt, and I had my badge, and I would stop traffic, and kids would go, across the street, and I felt like, awesome, I was the law. I remember one kid not willing to cross the street. He was like a 5th grader, and I was so mad. I was like, dude, cross the street. He's like, never. I'm like, you gotta obey me. Cross the street. This big old 5th grader, big old tall, intimidating like, he walked up to me. He said, you're a little shrimp, you're a little short, you're a little girl. I'm like, shut your mouth. That didn't scare him, so I ramped it up. I am Batman. That didn't scare him. See, but what I had done with my outfit, I added a little accessory I didn't tell anybody about. Yeah, I had a badge, and I had a belt, and I had a stop sign, but I also had handcuffs. And I figured if anyone wouldn't really obey me, I would just arrest them and drag them to the principal's office. And that's what I tried to do. I took this dude, I put a handcuff around his wrist, he screamed like a little girl. It was epic. But apparently illegal. Because the teacher came over, she says, Brooks, what are you doing? I'm like, bully in jail. She said, Brooks, no, if you're gonna be a leader, you can't just arrest people. If you're gonna be like the law or the boss, or you can't just get all angry and try to get people in trouble that you hate. She took my handcuffs. I was so mad, but I kind of didn't care because in my other back pocket, I had Chinese handcuffs. Oh yeah, you know what Chinese handcuffs are? They're like a little tube made out of basket material. You put your fingers through, you pull your fingers out, and they're like clamped down. They're like ancient technology. I doubt they use this in China to control their dangerous enemies. They probably have to use like 5 of them. But I just had one. It cost me like 100 tickets at Chuck E. Cheese's. It took forever to get. And I figured the next dude that punks me, I'll just arrest him Chinese style. So I waited. And I got picked on again right away. This time not by a dude, but by a chick. Yeah, mean girl. She was tall. She had dark, flowy hair. She had angry eyes. She was gorgeous. Now, pretty girls don't usually walk my way. They usually walk away. And this girl, she was walking right towards me. I didn't know what to say. My heart was beating like 1,000,000 times an hour. I just repeated the only word that came to my mind. Hubba, 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 hubba. I think I freaked her out. I didn't know when to stop. Hubba, 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 hubba. She says, stop talking, you're freaking me out. I'm like, why are you so rude? She says, why are you so skinny? I'm like, because I'm allergic to food, back the heck off. She says, no man, you're like 2-dimensional skinny, bro. I'm like, that hurts my feelings. She says, you're like freaking paper thin. If you turn sideways, you disappear. I took her finger and shoved it in my Chinese handcuff. The teacher came over, Brooks, what are you doing? I'm like, hot girl needs to go to jail. She said, Brooks, you cannot arrest hot girls. So she took my Chinese handcuffs, but I didn't care. Because in my other back pocket, I had a fork. Now calm down, I don't believe in violence. I'm not very coordinated. I can't even stab a Capri Sun juice bag, okay? But I had this little fork in my other back pocket, and I figured if anyone was mean to me or disrespected me, I would whip out the fork! And I would hold it up to my eye, and I would look through the bars of the fork at my enemies, and I would say, bully in jail, bully in jail. I just arrested you in my imagination! And people would say, you are so weird. And the more people were mean to me, I would get upset. And the more upset I would get, they would have fun. And they would be mean to me more. And I would get upset. And they would have fun. And they'd be mean to me more. And I'd get upset. And they would have fun. See, it was a downward spiral. I wish someone would have come to me and said, Brooks, stop getting upset. If you're going to be a leader, if you're going to be in a place of authority, if you're going to lead others towards positive change, you've got to have control over your anger. The number one threat to your academic success and your leadership influence is your anger. your inability to manage your life in the midst of social drama. Some of you have paper-thin skin. If someone would say something to you, you'd fly off the handle in anger. Some of you are so brokenhearted because a group of people exclude you and you can't fathom why. And you wish that people would approve of you. Some of you are so depressed and struggle with depression because you have an insecurity or a disability or some sort of flaw that people have found out, and they use that against you. And here you are at this student leadership conference trying to learn to lead, to be the cream of the crop, to be at an elite level, to be an example to other peers, and yet inside you're incredibly fragile. Outside you look good, but inside you could crumble. That's got to change. My desire in this talk is to show you very practically how to stop getting upset when people are mean. In fact, you should expect people are going to be mean. And how to treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Those are two things. Stop getting upset and treat others the way you want to be treated. See, because if you don't stop getting upset, it will be a downward spiral. You see, you think people are mean to you because you're a leader. That's not why they're mean to you. You think people are mean to you online, or they're saying something mean on your Instagram comments or something like that, or some social feed, and people are rude and mean, maybe because you look different. Maybe you think it's your face, your race, your religion, or your mama. You think that's what they're making fun of. But it's none of those things. People are not mean to you because of how you look or how you are. They are mean to you for one reason. They're trying to hurt your feelings. And for some reason, this generation especially are like an emotional marshmallow, hypersensitive to the mean, negative words and actions of others, because your entire life you have been taught a half-truth. The half-truth is really a lie if it's not wholly taught. And the half-truth that you've been taught since you were in kindergarten are this: words hurt, words wound, words kill. And if you go throughout life believing that, you are going to be emotionally fragile, volatile, overly sensitive. If you believe words hurt when someone's mean to you with their words, you're like, you're hurting me. If you believe words wound when someone's mean to you with their words, you might be scarred for life. And if you believe words kill, you may be like the growing sad number of students who contemplate hurting themselves or hurting others in retaliation. But throughout history, especially in this great country of the United States of America, throughout history, generations of moms and dads and educators and even grandparents have been trying to teach their students words don't have to hurt. Words only have the power that you give them. Man, if someone hates you, oh well, ain't no thing. It's all good. But I didn't learn that. When I was a kid, in middle school especially, I was so depressed, so sad. In fact, when I put on my watch in the morning, I see scars up and down my wrist. I was one of the rare guys who would burn himself or cut himself as a way to release the internal turmoil, emotional pain, into external physical pain. I was depressed. I went to 3 different schools in 3 different years to try to get away from mean people. In 6th grade, they were so mean I left. In 7th grade, I went to another school. They were so mean I left to another place. In 8th grade, it was terrible. I was so depressed, so sad. I remember my mom didn't know what to do. She came to me, she says, Brooks, what is your problem? You're walking around depressed. I feel like I'm going to lose you. I said, Mom, they don't have a right. They do not have a right to be mean to me. They don't have a right to reject me from their little cool group. They don't have a right to spread rumors about me. Don't they know that I have feelings? I said, Mom, I hate my life because the world is so hateful. She said, son, I hate to break it to you, but not everyone's going to like you and not everyone's going to want to be your friend. I said, Mom, come on, you got to be more positive. She said, I'm positive that not everyone's going to like you. And I'm positive that not everyone's going to want to be your friend. And I said, they don't have a right. And she taught me about human rights. She says, no, the only human rights that we can ensure civilization are those that we can guarantee. We cannot, for example, demand that everyone has a right to life without sickness, because we can't guarantee that. But we can have a right to affordable health care. We can't demand that we have a right, a human right, for everyone to be nice to us, because we can't guarantee that. But we can give people rights and tell them that you have a right to learn how to have the social and emotional skills to endure hateful people. We don't have a right to be brilliant and wise and smart, but we do have a right to a free education. You see, when you believe that you have a human right, that everyone must be nice to you, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're creating in yourself a victimization mentality, because when people are mean to you, you say, you have no right. No, they do have a right. It may be immorally wrong, but it is their constitutional right. In fact, the right we have in this nation is the right to free speech. Even if it's mean, even if it's hateful. We live in a nation that is a democracy. Its cornerstone foundational philosophy is that every single citizen has the right to stand up on their platform and speak their mind, even if it offends another group. And that's critically important, because if our government started to crack down on people's speech, they would take over and they wouldn't allow us to freely speak our mind. You see, we think the answer to end hate speech is to crack down on speech and demand less speech, but the reality is, it's no. Let more speech happen, and may that speech be empowered by the virtue of love so that it can drown out the vice of hate. We live in a generation of emotional, sensitive kids. Hey, but what would it be like if you were mentally tough? What would it be like if you're emotionally strong? That no matter what anyone said to you, you wouldn't even care. See, right now, if you live with your emotions on the outside of your skin, your feelings on your sleeve, hypersensitive to the mean words and actions of others, everyone else will control you. But what if you didn't? You see, when I was young, I would let other people control me. They were mean to me, I would be mean to them. They were nice to me, I'd be nice to them. Social scientists call that the law of reciprocity. Say it, it's lots of fun. The law of reciprocity. It means if you treat me with disrespect, I will treat you with disrespect. Someone might say, your face is ugly. You're like, shut up! Your face is ugly. Now, reciprocity also works the other way. Like if someone's nice to you, hey, I really like your shirt. We naturally, biologically want to be nice back. Oh, thank you so much. I feel so good inside. When people are mean to you, our natural instinct is to be mean back. This is what we have in common with the animal kingdom. You go up to a little dog and you're like, the dog's going to be like, but if you go up to a little dog and you go, oh, whoopsie, 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 the dog will go, We are just like the animal kingdom. If someone seems to attack us with their intimidation or their words, our natural impulse is to attack back. In fact, that's in our limbic system. The brain that we have in common, even with reptiles, is called the limbic system. It's under the wrinkly cerebral cortex where our higher reasoning happens. Inside our brain, in the very core that's attached to our spinal column, is this limbic system. And when someone attacks us, immediately we have fight or freeze or flight. We have this instinct. But the cool thing about humans is that we have been given this incredible brain called the cerebral cortex that is smarter than our emotions. And we have to learn as leaders to fill our thinking brain with skills to control our emotional brain. If you live according to your impulsive emotional brain, you will never rise to authority. People will not learn to trust you. You will always be controlled by other people, because if they're terrible to you, you'll be terrible to them and you'll have a terrible day. But if you're a resilient kid and you learn to have control of your emotions, when someone's terrible to you, you won't even care. You'll be nice to them and you'll have a nice day no matter what they say. The choice is yours. You have to make a choice. How am I going to live, and am I going to protect my heart? There's an old proverb I love. It says, above all things, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. That's why this is a critical leadership skill. Think of the President of the United States. Whoever he or she is, they will always be the most made fun of, criticized human being on the planet. Not because of their politics, but because of their leadership position. They are leaders of the free world. They stand on a platform, and the whole world has a chance to take a cheap shot at them. In fact, people make their full-time living. A segment of the entertainment industry makes hundreds of millions of dollars every year to assassinate the character of the president, no matter who they are. And if the president woke up in the morning, read the paper, or looked at the social feed and realized, oh no, they hate me. They're so mean to me. They don't approve of me. They're spreading rumors about me. If the president allowed those negative, hateful words and actions to wound him or her emotionally, they wouldn't be able to get out of bed. They'd be a wreck. They wouldn't be able to function. But no, they're happy with who they are and how they are. They're leading according to their own convictions, even if they're not popular. This is the type of leadership that I hope you aspire to have. I remember at the end of my 8th grade year, after being depressed, being on medication, being in special education classes, disconnected from the main school population, I was a wreck. And finally, my mother sat me down and she says, son, I feel like I'm going to lose you. I said, Mom, you might. She says, I want to tell you a little story. I said, Mom, I don't want to hear your stories. Your stories never work. I'm not 4 years old, okay? She says, shut up and listen to my story. That's like cussing for my mom. She said, once upon a time, there was a pony. And this little pony couldn't keep up with the tall, dark, and handsome horses. He couldn't see where he was going. He forgot his inhaler. He was like having asthma issues. I said, Mom, is this pony me? She says, shut your mouth. She said, and one day, this little pony, as he was trying to catch up with the real popular horses and be liked by them, these mean horses decided to play a little trick, to set a trap, to see this pony fall. So here's what they did. They dug a pit 8 foot into the earth. They took brush, covered the pit, hoping the pony would not see it and fall to his death. And you know, that's exactly what happened. As he was walking, he walked on the brush and fell 8 foot into the dirt. I'm like, Mom, this is the worst story in the history of stories. She says, shut your mouth. I said, well, what happened? Did the pony die? She says, it got really worse, actually. The horses, they came out and with their shovels, I'm like, how do horses have shovels? She says, shut your mouth. They took the same dirt that they put out of the pit and they put the dirt back into the pit to bury this pony alive. And as the dirt fell on his back, he felt burdened. In a word, he felt in total despair. He thought to himself, this is it. This is how my life ends. They're going to win. I'm going to lose. I'm going to die. And the more dirt they put into the pit, the more it weighed the pony down until he was so overwhelmed he was about to collapse. But then a thought came to him. I'm not going out this way. I'm not going to let him win. I'm going to be smarter than this. And you know what he did? He shook it off. And he stomped it down, and it got a little higher. And the more dirt they put in to bury him alive, landed on his back, he shook it off. And he stomped it down, and it got a little higher. And the more dirt they put down, my mom was telling me this story, the more dirt they put on his back, he just shook it off. And he stomped it down, and he shook it up, and he stomped it down, and he shook it up. I'm like, Mom, that's disgusting. Stop. She's like, no, you need to get through this in your head. I hope this will never leave your mind. You need to know, you need to shake it off. I stomp it down. You need to shake it off. I stomp it down. You need to shake it off. I stomp it down. I'm like, Mother, stop it. It's totally inappropriate. She says, you got to shake it off. Stomp it down. And the more hate that people put on you to bury you alive, shake it off. Why? Because his pony was able to shake enough dirt off his back and stomp down enough of the dirt to rise. He rose all the way to the top, and he walked right out of that pit, and he gained the respect of his abusers, but more importantly, he gained self-respect that he was not going to let anyone bury him alive. My mother told me, Brooks, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. I said, Mom, I've heard that. That's a lie. She says, don't you say that's a lie. I said, it is a lie. They told me at school that sticks and stones slogan should be retired. It's a mistake. The sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's a lie. We don't say that at our school. We don't say that. I don't believe that, because I know above all people, words do hurt, words do wound, words do kill. She says, Brooks, you're believing a half-truth. My mother told me, my grandma, son, taught my mother, who taught me, who's now teaching you. For generations, the sticks and stones slogan is how we survive. I said, Mom, but listen to the words. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Mom, listen to the words. That's not true. She says, it was never meant to be a statement of fact. And then my mother gave me a little history lesson. Did you know the sticks and stones slogan was invented in 1650 during the Civil War era by the African-American slave community to empower their children to endure prejudicial hatred that surrounded them? These African-American slaves in 1862, in fact, in the basement of an Anglican Episcopal church, taught this group of children in their Sunday school, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt me. And the kids would have to say it back, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. You see, in that time, the Emancipation Proclamation, the freedom for African-American slaves, the president was about to free African Americans from being in bondage to slavery. They truly were being given a human right to freedom. Yet, they would live in the world still dripping with prejudice. And so these parents who were former slaves about to be free were telling their children, you will be free, but you will be surrounded by hate. And if you let the hateful words of others to wound you, you will be miserable. You might die. Look, if someone hit you with a stick or a stone, you could think all day in your head, the stick is not going to hurt, the stick is not going to hurt, the stick is not going to hurt. But when someone goes, whack, it's going to hurt. The stick hurting has nothing to do with your thinking. The stick is going to cause objective harm because it's an object. But a word is not an object. You cannot wad up a word, throw it at someone, and give them a black eye. The only power words have is to wound the inside. Wait a second. We're the boss of our inside. We're commanders of our own emotions. We're the ones that decide whether a word will wound us or not. Therefore, if we tell ourselves the word is not going to wound, the word is not going to hurt, the word is not going to hurt, when someone's mean to us and they make fun of our disability, insecurity, if they are racist, that word, if we choose, will bounce right off and we won't care. That's the full truth about words. Yes, words sometimes wound, but listen, words don't have to wound. And if you tell yourself, hey man, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, you just discovered the wisdom of the wisest saying that was given to us by the African American community. They understood that when people are mean, the whole goal is to be winners and to see you as a loser. They might say, the mean person might say, I hate your guts. If you get upset, shut up. You start to lose. Never. You're hurting my feelings. That's the point, dummy. I hate you. I don't care. Ah! See, if you get upset, if you allow the mean words of others to wound you, you cannot lead, you lose. You lose. You give others the power over you. Why do you give others the power of you? Do you realize the academic definition of bullying is an imbalance of power? That's all it is. Someone using hate to have power over you. They want you to feel like a loser, and if you feel like a loser, they win, and you're letting them, and you're wondering, why are people so mean? Why are people so hateful? Why am I so miserable? Listen to me, it's because you're letting them. The key to getting mean people to leave you alone is to stop getting upset, to give them permission to exercise their free speech and be haters if they want. But no matter what they say, you don't even care. They might say, I hate your guts. But you could say, that's nice. Or they might ramp it up and they might say, you smell like body odor. You're nasty. You could say, thanks for the information. They might say, your face is ugly. But you could say, you have a face of an angel, sweet cheeks. No matter how mean they are, I don't even care if it was. It could be the gay insult. It could be a racist insult. It could be a religious insult. I don't care how vicious or venomous or viral the words become. Whether it's online or on campus, it doesn't matter, they're words. And the greatest leaders in the world recognize that words only have power that I give them. But you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision. I'm going to not give people power to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to give people power to hurt my feelings. I'm going to expect people, they're probably going to be mean. And I'm going to let them be mean because it's a free country and I can't stop them from being mean. But if they're mean, no matter how they treat me, I will always treat them the way I want to be treated. And I want to be treated like a friend. But if they're treating me like an enemy, I still want to be treated like a friend. So I'm going to treat them the way I want to be treated, the golden rule, which means I'm going to treat them like a friend even if they're mean to me. And that's what the golden rule means. Treat everyone like friends, especially your enemy. Treat everyone like friends, especially your enemy. Why? Because when you treat your enemy like a friend, you don't have to be friends with them, but you can be friendly to them. And when you treat your enemy like a friend, they have a hard time staying your enemy. Dr. Martin Luther King put it this way: you cannot drive out hate with more hate. Only love can do that because love is greater than hate. You say, Brooks, but dude, I've never done this. I've never heard this teaching. This is too difficult. I mean, if someone's mean to me, I need to be mean back. No. I'm telling you to be the opposite. Be friendly to everyone, even your enemies. But Brooks, it's really difficult. I don't think I can do it. Oh, shut your mouth. Yes, you can. You can do this. I need a volunteer to show you how awesome this is. This was not pre-planned. I need someone who doesn't mind being mean to me. Who do you think would be good at this? I need the house lights up. Come on. Someone who doesn't mind being mean. All right, standing up right here. Come on down. Here she comes. Give her a big hand clap. Oh, hi. Did you want a hug?
Yeah, I'm nice to you.
You want to be mean to me too?
No, I want to be nice to you.
No, but I want you to be mean to me. Come on up, sweetheart. I'll have 2 of you be. Come on, bring it. Give him a big hand clap. I got 2 volunteers. All right. What's your name?
Julian.
Everyone say, what's up, Julian? And your name?
Amanda.
Everyone say, what's up, Amanda? All right, now here's how this works. It's called the Golden Rule game. Do you know what the Golden Rule is?
Treat others the way you want to be treated.
Give her a big hand clap. That's awesome. Now, how do you want to be treated? Like a friend or like an enemy? How do you want to be treated?
Like a friend.
Like a friend, that's right. No one has ever said, yes, treat me like an enemy. Everyone, if they're honest, says, treat me like a friend. So in this game, you're going to treat me like an enemy. I'm going to show you, we're going to play it twice, but I'm going to show you how to get mean people to either continue being mean or get mean people to stop. It's whether you use the golden rule or not. I'm telling you, it's so simple, anyone can do this. So your whole goal is to call me an idiot, okay? Why don't you get together a little closer? There you go. You call me an idiot, I'm going to try to stop you. You can make fun of my high forehead, my pointy nose, my ugly clothes. What are those? Whatever you want, okay? My whole goal is to stop you. Don't let me stop you. If I stop you, I win. You be mean. Don't let me stop you. You keep being mean. Do you understand? You're not going to hurt my feelings. I wrote a best-selling book on resilience. I'm good. On the count of 3, everyone say action. 1, 2, 3.
You stupid idiot.
What'd you call me?
An idiot.
You better back off.
I said you're an idiot.
Do you hear what he's saying?
You're 4 Eyes. What are you doing?
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm not an idiot, and I can't help but wear my glasses. You're hurting my feelings.
Well, too bad. You smell like roadkill.
I do not smell like, I will windmill kick your face.
You got a forehead like Peyton Manning.
Oh, shut up! Shut up! I hate all of you. You better stop it. I'm serious. I know karate. I'll break every bone in your body.
I'll break every bone in your body.
I hate you.
I hate you more.
I hate you most.
You're an idiot.
Stupid idiot.
No one cares about you.
Stop it. Yes, they do. I'm cool.
No, they don't. You're not cool at all. Just leave. Leave.
No.
Idiot.
All right, give him a big hand clap. Here he goes. All right, let's go. Okay. Now, hold on. You okay? Good job. Okay, now hold on. Okay. Woo. Great job. The goal was you call me an idiot. I'm going to try to stop you. I couldn't stop you. Well, I might have to use my insurance card, but that's good. We're going to play one more time. Same rules. You be mean to me. I'm going to try to stop you. Don't let me stop you, okay? Don't let me stop you. But I will this time. Call me an idiot.
Idiot.
Hey, Julian.
What's up, idiot?
Mr. Idiot.
Oh, that's very respectful. Thank you. Thank you.
Why do you wear plaid with a tie? That clashes.
Oh, it clashes?
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I know some people, if it makes you happy calling me an idiot, it makes me happy too. Idiot. No, it's just, I know I'm an idiot. My mom says we come from a village of idiots. My father's an idiot. That's what she says.
Idiot.
I know. You're so smart. I wish I was as smart as you.
Thank you, idiot.
You're welcome, smart guy.
Idiot.
Yeah. And you, I mean, isn't she lovely?
You're still an idiot.
I know. And do you want to go to prom?
I want to go to prom with plaid and a tie.
I'll change for you, darling.
Still got that 4 Eyes.
Still got that forehead too.
Yeah, I know. It's like a family disability. My mother's forehead starts like right here. And my pointy nose, it's insane. Sometimes I don't even point. I say, hey, go over there. and people start walking. You're like a model, especially you.
You're still an idiot.
See you later, pal.
Later, idiot.
I won. I stopped him. Give him a big hand clap. That was awesome. Two questions. All right, 2 questions. Now, we played twice. We played 2 times. The first time, I got upset and I treated you like an enemy. That's usually how we behave. When someone's mean to us, our natural instinct is to be mean back to them to try to stop them, but that's the trap. If you're mean back, they will keep being mean back to you. The second you discover this, your whole life will change. The first time I was mean back and I treated you like an enemy. The second time, however, when you were mean to me, I didn't get upset. I treated you like a friend. Which time was easy for you to be mean to me, the first or the second time?
When you're vulnerable, upset.
Yeah, when I was getting upset. So the first time, right? Why was it easy to be mean to me the first time?
Because you were being mean back. So it made me get more and more. Yeah.
Right, and that's what happens. Even if someone's online and they're like, ooh, your face is ugly, you should filter your face off. And you're like, oh, no, you didn't. You don't have to follow my feed, you negative face emoticon send. If you're mean back, they'll be mean back to you. That's the law of reciprocity. This is what leaders have to break out of if they're going to be successful leaders. Which time would you be more likely to leave me alone and be friendly? The first or the second time?
The second time.
The second time. Why the second time?
Because you want to be a friend to everybody.
Yeah, I was being friendly. It's very difficult, isn't it, to be mean to someone who's so friendly. Mm-hmm. Even if you really hated me, you will have a hard time hating me again and again and again, because love conquers all. You did a great job. Give me a big hand clap. That was fantastic. Everybody say, don't get upset. Say, treat everyone like friends. Say, don't get upset. Say, treat everyone like friends. All the leaders in here say, don't get upset. Say, treat everyone like friends. Those are the 2 things to remember. 2 things. This is the international sign for what? Peace. And when you have conflict, which is the opposite of peace, if you have a relational battle, if you have social drama in your leadership group, when in doubt, get the peace sign out. There's 2 things to remember. Don't get upset. Treat them like a friend. It reminds me of this little song. You can sing with me. Players. Players gonna play. Haters gonna hate. And I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. Come on now. Breakers gonna break. Fakers gonna fake. And I'm just gonna shake it off. Come on, say, players gonna play. Let me hear you. Haters. And I'm just gonna shake it off. Breakers, come on. Breakers gonna break. Fakers gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake it off. 'Cause I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Words won't bring me down. Sing, I am beautiful. Come on now. And I am beautiful in every single way. Words won't bring me down. So don't you bring me down today. 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 One more time, I'm beautiful. 'Cause I am beautiful. and I am beautiful in every single way. Words can't. Do you believe that? So don't you bring me down today. God bless you. I love you. And go California FFA.
The time to be here with us today. We appreciate you teaching us how to lead with love and to understand the golden rule.
Yeah.
We promise that we will implement #BeStrong back in our homes and our chapters. Please accept this as a token of our appreciation. California FFA, let's give it up for Mr. Brooks Gibbs one last round of a time.